Hi, welcome to the Market Alert for Friday, the 2nd of October 2020. So the breaking news is Donald Trump and wife Melania test positive for coronavirus. Probably wondering why I'm reporting on something political. You'll see in just a moment. Other news, copper, crude, crypto and credit clobbered as stimulus hopes fade. So the stimulus that Pelosi wanted is falling apart. Stocks and bond yields suddenly plunge on House stimulus headlines. Confirming no deal today headline stating that a House vote on Democrat stimulus deal is expected today. US equities and bond yields tumbled as Pelosi claims the difference is not dollars but value. And then Peter Schiff warns of fourth quarter fireworks. The dollar is going to go down regardless of the next president and is which party controls Congress. I mean, that should be abundantly clear based upon the debate, and I couldn't agree more. I only saw a couple of minutes of it. A slanging match, I think, is what it was, not a debate. And given the potential of either or, well, Peter Schiff's absolutely right. It's doomed. Incredible. 350 million people in America, and Trump and Biden are the best they can come up with. Incredible. Anyway, let's get to yesterday's trades. And the market moving higher after recording the market alert coming off the BRN, going back through the 200 MA, then moving higher. And then as the market opened, we had a sell signal and prices moved lower. I thought they were going to come back above the 200 MA, to be honest, but they continued lower, and we saw the market coming back and then finding support here, and then eventually starting to move lower. Got the stop at break even at this point as the market broke, and then you'll see the trade ending. And the reason for that is this spike in the volume compared to the previous bar sitting at the DP. And again, these small nuances in the volume, when you learn to spot them, it allows you to get out of the trade at wouldn't say the optimum time, but close to the optimum time. So prices rallied back. We see then this came out of nowhere. No idea what it was. Tried to look for some news, but it traded straight down to the DP and close, and prices stopped there. You see the profit taking in the green bar, and then prices reversing and then sitting on the close, and eventually starting to move back to the upside. So I'm just going to fast forward here. Again, you've got some more profit taking. Notice how powerful the BRN is here. Our prices sit on this level throughout, and then start to make their way back to the upside. Even after breaking through here, it then continues to move to the upside there. So we had a long. I took the long, but I know that there's news out which can be seen here, and as I've said before, even medium impact news items can move the market if it's quiet and they want to use it. Notice also here in this bar, the volume is greater than the previous bar, where the range is greater, the volume is less. So I know that I've got some selling pressure to contend with here. So what I'm looking for as we're getting closer to the news is to actually get out of this trade because of the news, get out at break even, and that's what I did. Then I just waited for the news. There's some potential weakness, and here is the news, which you'll see in just a second. Refreshed. It's amazing how delayed the news is these days as well. So we've got the UK final manufacturing PMI was forecast at 54.3, came out at 54.1. So not what they were expecting. I think they're hoping for something more. And then prices move to the downside there. Continue once they go through. Just go through with the selling bar there. Go straight through the close, straight down to the BRN. And this is an interesting bar as well. It really holds well at this level. The volume isn't greater than the previous bar, but it's certainly 70 to 80%. And yet the market, they're doing their best to hold at this level because you've got all of this support over here in the BRN. So eventually it has to give way and then prices move lower, and then you see some profit taking here. Prices trade sideways and then continue to move towards the downside there. So that was the morning session. So let's move on to the afternoon. Again, you can see the market below the DP. I always check when I start. Where are we in the bigger picture? So I can see there's already some weakness around here. And actually, while I'm thinking about it, this was the US initial job claims at 130, another 860,000 claiming benefits this week. It's not moving the market anymore. It's amazing how so many people can claim for unemployment and the market doesn't care. It's incredible. But then it doesn't really care about what's going on in the real world. It's how money can be made. Of course, that's the real thing there. Anyway, the market's started to move higher. It's trading at the 200 MA there. You can see all of the buying there initially moving prices to the upside. And again, we've got high impact news at 3 p.m. And it was a real tough one, this. We've got the news out and we've got a sell signal just a few minutes before. So I decided not to bother, which is a shame. Here's the news. I'll just bring this back. See if I can scrub this in a bit but slower. I can't remember what the news was there, but let's just have a look. I'm still waiting to get the news. I should have brought it onto the screen a bit further. Oh, well, I think that was the PMI figures as well. And that came out at 55, as you can see there, 55.4, and 56 was forecast. So this was bad news, and it's a shame really that the short, because they'd been closed or not taken, to be honest, the prices moved lower. However, what I did notice after is that we had some profit taking here, but look at the volume in this bar here. It could actually a continuation of the move that started here, which I wasn't in, and then prices continue to move lower on the bad news as the Dow sold off 250 points. Prices trade down to the low. Again, you can see the significance of all of this, and you can see the green bar down there at this level as prices then start to return to the upside. So again, very important at these levels. You can see how the market trades to these and finds support and can bounce off these. So then we had a long and the market moving to the upside. As we head towards the BRN, and this again, if you look at this bar here and the volume, you will see that it is greater than the previous bar. The range is narrow. It's an inside bar, which means it's inside the high and the low of the previous bar. So at this point, I decided to take the profits off the table. We'll just come back there. You'll see this actually happening as the bar completes. And there you go. You can see that there. So that was it then. For the time being, market became sideways, and then just as we got to 4 p.m, we had a sell, and then the market immediately turned and took this trade out, and I didn't do the buy side because we were so close to 4 o'clock there. I just took the short, and unfortunately ended up giving the profit back off the trade that I'd taken in the afternoon and a few points more, which was a bit of a pain, but not to worry, that's all par for the course. If the news hadn't have been in the way for this trade, then it would have been a lovely trade to the downside. But overall, good day, and we'll see what today brings, which why I put the Trump headline up earlier. You can see that the market is already down. It doesn't like this news. Now, I'm not saying that it's a rigged test by the medics to keep Trump quiet, keep him at home in the White House and not on the road. But interesting, the market seems to have an opinion that they're not happy about the fact that he's been tested positive for coronavirus. Never quite understood the difference between coronavirus and COVID. Now they're used interchangeably. I thought coronavirus was a generic term for the common cold, but who knows these days. So anyway, the markets moved lower on the overnight. So let's have a look at the bigger picture, see where we are. We're way below the DP, the 200 MA, and the low as well. So we're sitting at the S2. The market could trade down to the S3, find support before it starts to move back to the upside. In this bigger picture, in the daily chart, we're sitting at the 62% retracement from this low to this high. So that's where the market's finding support at the moment, which ties in with the S2. So the S3 is going to be 78 in the daily, I would have thought. 473, 57, so more or less in that area. So just below there we go. Just below the S3 would be the 78% in the daily chart there. Quick look at the Dow, because obviously this is driving the market at the moment. So get the right one. Again, you can see prices moving lower there. Let's just draw in some fibs on the downside for this market. We're at 50% on the Dow at the moment, so the 62 would be the next one if broken. So it depends how the market's going to react to the news that Trump could be out of action. I'm sure he'll set up some sort of remote cameras and whatever to continue, and they'll put it onto a big screen. But interesting to see the market's reaction on this one. I don't think it would have been quite the same for Biden had he been tested. But interesting, so I don't think they'll be able to have the debate unless it's on a screen. They're both going to be on screen. I don't know. Doesn't really matter, but it's like I say, it's just an interesting one that at the moment he's tested, and his wife tested positive during this crucial part of the campaign and the run-up to the US election in November. And just before finish, keep in mind today that we've got the non-farm payroll. That's the big one for today. And given that the market's already reacted to the news of Trump and Melania testing positive, it could be interesting to see if normally the market would be quiet as it waited for these figures, so you get a very narrow trading range. But given the overnight activity, we could see a few more fireworks today. But this is the main news event of today, 1:30 non-farm payroll change. Okay, that will do it for this one. Have a great weekend as ever. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.